welcome. You're watching a news break. I'm Sarah Jacob. Let's get you the top story at this hour. A live video from inside a car clocking 230 kilometers per hour on Uttar Pradesh's Purvanchal Expressway right before a fatal crash has gone viral on social media. The video also tragically features a prophetic comment from one of the victims who said, "Chalo marenge," that is, all of us will die. All this while live streaming the speedometer of this luxury car that was on his way from Sultanpur to Delhi.
This live video from inside a speeding BMW car clocking 230 kilometers per hour on Uttar Pradesh's Purvanchal Expressway right before a fatal crash last Friday has gone viral on social media. One of the victims can be heard in the video egging on the driver to clock 300 kilometers per hour. The video, streamed live on social media by one of the victims, also features a prophetic comment from one of the occupants, who said "Charo marenge," or "all four of us will die." 4 people from Bihar were killed in the horrific car crash in the Sultanpur district. The BMW car rammed head-on into a container truck coming from the opposite direction but in the same lane. The truck was in the wrong lane because of a route diversion for road repairs.
All right, so according to the National Crime Records Bureau data, 1.55 lakh lives, actually over 1.55 lakh lives have been lost in road crashes across India in 2021. So that, think about this, is an average of 426 lives daily. 18 lives every hour. That's the highest death figures recorded in any calendar year so far. What can we do about this? Why does this continue? Let's bring in Dr. Rohit Baluja from the Road Traffic Institution, and we have Tutu Dhawan, an auto expert, joining us. Mr. Dhawan, first to you, I mean, how tragic. What do you do about, I mean, it's not the fault of the car, it's not the fault of the truck driver, it's clearly the, the person behind the wheel in this case. But when you see cases like this, what does it make you feel about when we talk about the kind of accidents that we see, the rate of accidents that we see on our streets every day?
Oh, I think this is an absolute harakari they have committed. It is suicidal to have even decided to achieve these sort of speeds on a highway, especially a public highway. Yes, if it is a controlled condition somewhere on a track, I would still appreciate it. But this is absolutely a foolish, I would say, attempt to do whatever he was trying to do.
Okay, let me just now talk about the issue of road safety, right? When you talk about road safety, it's incomplete if you don't talk about pedestrian safety, right? Can you talk about pedestrian safety first? Do we need to redesign our streets, our highways? Obviously not on the highways, there are no pedestrians here. But can you touch upon the issue of pedestrian safety first? I ask this only because... Sorry, go ahead.
Well, I think pedestrian safety should be first thought of when a highway is being planned. And when you have villages on the highway or close to the highway, you cannot stop cattle from going across from the other side. You cannot stop the local inhabitants also to be going on the other side for whatever they have to do, their purchases or they have to go to their farm. So there has to be a serious provision for them. Either an underpass or a foot-over bridge, something has to be thought of, and it has to be implemented. It cannot be just that there is a foot-over bridge and you don't have a barricaded railing on the side. Because we people tend to break the law anyway. We don't care about our lives.
Clearly, so, as you can see from this...
We need to be disciplined, and we aren't disciplined. And especially our rural area public is absolutely terrible. You have already seen, trucks and tractors going against the traffic. So
yes.
You can't really leave it on them
Correct.
to be able to think of what is right and what is wrong. You
But
have
in
to
this
tell
case,
them
it wasn't. In
what is
this
wrong.
specific case, it wasn't the truck driver's fault. He was going in the opposite direction because there was some road rebuilding being done, and I mean, I think this driver a case has been filed against him. And hopefully after seeing this footage, the authorities will reconsider that. But I also have Dr. Rohit Baluja. Dr. Baluja, let's bring you in over here. Invariably, when you discuss road safety or vehicle safety, you talk about cars a lot, right? But the NCRB data actually indicates that the maximum number of deaths are of two-wheelers. I think 44% of deaths come from two-wheelers, 15% from cars, pedestrians 12%. Can you talk about safety for two-wheelers first? Dr. Baluja, you'll just have to unmute, please.
Like the Purvanchal Expressway, normally in expressways we do not have two-wheelers to come there.
Yeah.
They're not normally allowed to come. Even pedestrians are not allowed to be there. But generally what is happening is that there is a total lack of enforcement in the areas, at least of measurement of enforcement of speed limits.
Yeah.
Now we do fix in speed limits. Now as per law, it is 120 kilometers is the maximum speed limit which is allowed on these expressways.
And these gentlemen were double that.
But these are double that, but the issue is that of enforcement.
Yeah.
Because 2% of the national highways and expressways are contributing to 39% of our road fatalities, 1,55,000. And this is clearly indicates that, number one, there is a deficiency in traffic engineering, which means speed limit signs have to come much more often than what they are. Secondly, there has to be a direct enforcement and immediate punishments have to be there. There has to be a fear of punishment.
Yeah.
And then, this is not driving at high speed. This is racing. Now, this is another larger offense than what an overspeeding is. So today we need a fear psychosis. I mean, we need to create a fear psychosis on the expressways that people are fearful of not such speeding, and that is totally missing, I believe.
You say enforcement is required, but in this case on the highways, you do see the posters, speed thrills but kills, don't drink and drive. There is enough of that, but what do you do about for people who say they have this luxury car and then they want to speed at 230, a minimum of 230, and if you read up a little bit, the victims, they're all educated, informed. What happens when we have our driver's licenses? I don't want to sound naive because I'm born and brought up here in the system. But when you have your licenses, are we tested on this basic knowledge, what the speed limits are, what you should be driving at, how much discipline you should be enforcing?
If you go on these highways, these expressways, you will see slow down, etc. But that is not required. Actually, the only two things are required is speed limits, and exceeding speed limits should be enforced upon. And today, if there are two speed limit violations, your license should be cancelled. That's what the law says, the Section 183 of the Motor Vehicles Act. And this is dangerous driving. This is not speeding. This is like we say that there is a Section 279 in the Indian Penal Code that it is dangerous drive. Rash and negligent driving. This is beyond speeding. This is rash, negligent, and dangerous driving. So results in actually impounding of the vehicle. It results in cancellation of your license right away.
Yeah.
So today what we have to do is, beyond the Motor Vehicles Act of overspeeding, we need to book such cases through the Indian Penal Code.
Yeah.
And these people should be booked. They should be imprisoned. They should go out on bail for these things. But that is today what is required. Secondly, I believe that this truck was coming in the opposite direction.
Because there was some road, the roads were being rebuilt.
Yes. So this is something also which needs to be, cognizance need to be taken, that why was a truck coming in the opposite direction when they were not being controlled by the road authorities at that time. So they should also be booked. I mean, there should be nothing which is
for
spared.
example, if you were abroad and there was construction happening on the road, they have those signages, the big, the blue ones that light up with fluorescent lighting at night. About maybe a kilometer before, it points out, construction up ahead, 500 meters ahead. Then that's what you're trying to point out.
Yes, absolutely. Today, you see that wherever constructions are going on our road, the traffic is flowing against the flow of traffic, and there are road accidents and fatalities. Wherever there is a road construction, fatalities are on the rise. And so it is equally the responsibility of the road authorities. Today we have a new section, 198A of the Motor Vehicles Act, which says that if a road failure is there and a person gets killed because of that, the road agencies are equally responsible for that. So altogether, one must see the comprehensive state. Drivers must be booked. Yes, of course. The road authorities must also be booked if there was a failure. And allowed, and the enforcement agencies must also come onto the table to make sure that these cases are severely booked and put onto the media on what they are doing with such cases.
All right. Lastly, Mr. Dhawan, Tutu Dhawan, it's been perhaps a month since that horrific car crash on another highway in Pune with Cyrus Mistry and another gentleman, his co-passenger, killed. Has anything changed, even in the last month? Your closing words on this.
The only thing that has changed is the fear of getting challan for not wearing a seatbelt. Nothing else has changed. There is no change in the highways. There is no change in the discipline of people going on the highways. And as you have just seen, this accident has happened just after what happened with our Cyrus Poonawalla. So I don't see anything that can be switched on suddenly, and it cannot be done like that. You have to inculcate discipline into our drivers, our children, right from school days upwards, so that they feel responsible not only for themselves, they have to start feeling responsible for the others as well.
Yes.
So it has got to come from inside you, the safety. And if you are talking of this particular accident, I would sue the road repair organization who has not barricaded the road. In foreign countries, they make a proper barricade and they make a lane if they are doing anything like this. And there is a warning happening 5 to 8 kilometers before that road is being widened or whatever is being done. Please be careful.
Thank you so much. We'll continue to try and keep the focus on this issue, on the issue of road safety that's taking so many lives, so many Indians, the lives of so many Indians every day, every hour. Thank you.